Hey traders, welcome back to Calm Trading. My name's Elliot, aka The Calm Trader, and today we're going to be talking about prop firm trading. Whether you've just started trading or you're looking to take your skills to the next level, we're going to be talking about the top 5 trading firms that you can start trading in today. Don't forget to also click that subscribe button and follow along for more trading insights. All right, let's get it done. All right, let's kick it off with a fundamental question. What is a trading prop firm? A proprietary trading firm, or prop firm for short, essentially it gives you access to funds with a profit sharing split. Now, these trading prop firms have an evaluation step that you need to pass to be able to get access to these live funds. But once you've got access to these funds, you can start taking bigger trades and potentially taking higher profits. Now, this profit split is usually a 90 to 10 or a 80 to 20 split, where you're keeping, for example, 90% of the profit and they keep 10%. But they also have a few deals in place where you get to keep the first 10,000 or the first 20,000, for example. So make sure you stay around to the end of the video, because we're going to go through a list of the top 5 trading firms and we're going to look at the differences between them. All right, you might ask me, hey Elliot, what's the point of trading in a prop firm? Like, why can't I just take my own capital and trade with that? Well, you can just do that. There's nothing stopping you. However, trading in a prop firm enables you access to more capital, helps you with risk management, and also has opportunities for professional growth because you're trading with other professional traders. Now, a lot of these trading prop firms, they'll have their own groups, whether it's in Discord or some other kind of group like that. But they also provide you with a lot of training materials as well. I think they're a really good option for new traders coming into the market, because the evaluation process, and I personally feel this, feels very real because you have something to lose. You have a goal that's been set, whether it's a profit target of $3,000. You can't hit your daily loss limits. You've got to maintain consistency with your profit taking. Not only that, if you fail the challenge, then you've got to reset the account, whether that's a fee or you have to wait to the end of the month for the account to be reset. Now, I feel like through this process, like I said, you've got something to lose, but you don't have to lose the house, right? So if you're trading with, $1,000 of your own capital, then that is a lot more psychologically devastating, I think. So the evaluation process itself, I think, is a fantastic learning opportunity, especially for new traders, without risking your own capital. Alrighty guys, let's head over to the iPad and we'll go through the top 5 trading firms that I've found. Alrighty, so first off, we're starting with TopStep. TopStep's the firm that I trade with personally. I like their platform, seems to work for me. The proof will be in the pudding when I actually get paid by them. I'm still passing evaluation, so follow my live streams and follow along on the process. So first up, they have an evaluation process, which is a 1-step process. Essentially what this means is that you have a consistency target, a profit target, and a max loss target. All the firms are pretty similar in this regard. I wouldn't worry about it too much. There's a lot of competition in the space to make sure that they're taking on as many profitable traders as possible. But just keep that in mind, that there is some slight differences, and make sure you pay attention to what those requirements are when you first start the evaluation process for any firm. Now, they have a minimum monthly fee of $49 for their smaller size account. Now, you can obviously get a coupon code to make this a bit cheaper, around $19 a month is what I'm paying for a 50K account at the moment. So keep an eye out, see if you can maximize the savings on any of those accounts that you do go for. But yeah, just keep that in mind. Now, that's a monthly fee just for the evaluation step. They have an activation fee to activate the evaluation account once you pass the evaluation requirements of $149. Now, that's just a one-time fee. You pay for the account. If you blow the account, then you have to do the evaluation process again and pay that fee again. So keep that in mind. They have a profit split of 90-10, and you keep the first 10K free. Mate, if you're making 10K on any account, you're doing very well. Okay, so 10K is really good. And then after that, you're paying an extra 10% on any money you make. So, in the 10K example, you're walking around with $9,000, right? So, pretty straightforward. Now, you can also have multiple accounts with TopStep. TopStep allows you to have, heaps of these multiple accounts. I know Trades by Matt does that. I'll put his video up here so you can have a look. Essentially, you can either compound your losses by doing it this way or compound your wins. So it can be a catch-22. If you're a very profitable trader, I can see how it's worth your while. You can have accounts between 50K and 150K. So you can stack those accounts. You can have them copy trade each other. So you're just trading on one account and all the other trades are going on those other accounts. So you can do quite well for yourself, but look, personally, I won't be looking at that option until I'm quite successful and I want to scale up. And even then, I'd probably just be looking at doing one extra account at a time, because you do need to be careful. I think there's a psychological impact to that as well when you're managing this extra money, but maybe it's not as much when you don't see that money on the screen. It's happening on these other accounts that you don't see the balances of until you go check them. So something to keep in mind. They have a great website, pretty easy to navigate. And that's it. So moving on. Next up, we have Apex. Now, Apex also has a one-step process, pretty straightforward. We're not going to talk about it too much there. Like I said, they're all pretty similar. Their evaluation step fee, minimum fee, is $147 a month, which is, obviously quite a lot more expensive. So keep that in mind. You can probably get coupon codes for them as well. So, try and maximize the savings on that. Let's say you got it down to $50 US or even less. I think it'd be quite fair. They have an activation fee for their once you pass the evaluation step. Now that can be either a lifetime fee or a monthly. So what that means is essentially, if you go for the monthly option, you pay, let's say $105 or $110, something around that mark, every month while you have the account open. That's what you're going to pay. Once the account's live, that's what you're going to pay every month. Or you can just pay the lifetime fee, which I think is like $160, which is pretty similar to the top set fee. And then once that you pay that fee, you don't have to pay it again, and you're only paying the profit split fee, essentially. So something to keep in mind. I've seen people complain online about paying the lifetime, then blowing the account, and then having to start the process again. So that's something to keep in mind. And so they say, well, it's better to pay the monthly. But as far as I'm concerned, if you're profitable and you're looking to keep the account more than 2 months, then it makes more sense to pay for the lifetime fee. $160 in the grand scheme of things is not a lot of money, but if you're not profitable, it is a lot of money. So something to keep in mind about that. Now they have a profit split, pretty straightforward, of 90-10, and then you get the first 25K free. Again, mate, if you're making 25K, you're doing super well. You can take that money, take it offline if you don't want to pay any more fees, and go trade on your own account. But if it's a better tax advantage to trade within the prop firm, then do that. But it's just something to keep in mind that there's a slightly better deal here for 25K. But man, making 25K, it's good money. It's good money. Don't get upset about it. It's huge. 10K even is great. So anyways, you can have multiple accounts with Apex as well. So you can stack those accounts, so pretty straightforward. And then they have account sizes from 25K to 300. So they have a wider range there, but I wouldn't stress about too much. I think you can make really good money on 25K account or a 50K account, as long as you're profitable. I think really, if you want to scale after that and you want to be able to trade more lots, maybe opening up a single 300K account may make a lot of sense, but I wouldn't worry about that too much at the early stage. The first step, get an account, be profitable. Yeah, you're winning, right? Alrighty, moving on to the next one. Next one's Trade Day. Now Trade Day, again, a little bit pretty similar. They only have one major difference here in regards to the multiple accounts. Now they have a one-step process. Straightforward, not going to talk about it too much. Their monthly fee is $80 US a month for their evaluation step. That's a minimum monthly fee. Again, probably get a coupon if you can. Now, their activation fee, they don't have one. There's none. There's no activation fee as far as I can see. There's no ongoing monthly fees that I can see either. So that's a really good thing. So if you just pay $80 a month, let's say you get it at that price, let's say you can get it cheaper. Let's say you get it $40 a month because you've found a coupon code, you pass the evaluation step, then Trade Day is very efficient in regards to your capital, right? Your personal capital to get invested into actually making money. So that's a pretty cool thing to see. and it's something to consider when you're looking at these prop firms. They have a profit split of 90-10. Again, basically the same, and you get your first 10K free. So, yep, pretty straightforward. Not a lot of difference. Just not allowed to have the multiple accounts. So no multiple accounts for you on trade day. You know, if you're wanting to scale up and that's a problem for you, then maybe look for another firm. But there's no problem with just like making some money first, taking the money out and going to another firm later. It doesn't matter, right? It's not going to hurt you starting in any of these by the looks of it. So as long as you get paid, that's all that matters. As long as it's not a scam. And I think all of the ones that I've chosen today, they seem like, as far as I can tell, they seem legitimate. There's no other major issues with them. I haven't seen any problems with payouts or anything like that, or any really negative stuff. So it looks fun. And on trade day, they have a 10K to 250K account sizes. Moving on next, we got FTMO. Now FTMO has a very fancy looking website, pretty nice. I haven't checked these Trustpilot reviews to see whether the 5 stars is actually correct on their website versus what's actually online, but that's something to keep in mind. Now they have a 2-step process, which is the only one that's a little bit different out of all of these. But essentially when you look at the requirements, it's the same thing. You still have a profit target, a consistency target, and a max loss target. They're just breaking into 2 steps. Seems pretty straightforward. They call it an evaluation step and I think like a identification step or something like this. I can't remember quite the name, but they're just broken into 2. I wouldn't worry about it too much. It's essentially the same thing. They don't have a monthly fee. There's no monthly fee for the challenge step, which is really, really cool. Really cool to see. They just have a challenge fee, which is a little bit different, right? So if you're a confident, competent trader and you're making money, you're profitable, and you just want to pay this 168 activation fee to do a challenge, then this will work really well for you. It'll be very capital efficient, right? Because you can just pay this, say you get approved for the account, move on, you're making money, right? So that's how they're a little bit different, is the activation fee is essentially that. But not only that, is that you get a refund once you pass. So that's even better. Again, you get this money back if you pass. So they're making money from people who fail all the time. So you could argue that potentially there's a bit of an incentive there. So you keep going back to this other step to pay. However, I think where else they make their money back is here on the profit targets. The profit split, my apologies. Now, this is how I think they make their extra little bit of money. So they do an 80-20 profit split when you first start. And then once you prove consistency, they'll let you do a 90-10 down the track. So that's a really cool thing to see. So letting you grow with them a little bit, proving your consistency and profitability. So that's really cool thing to see. So I guess that's how they make a little bit more money. And maybe you could say, well, then the incentive is really to keep pushing you on to make money for the firm. You're allowed to have multiple accounts for them, and then they also have a minimum account size of 10K, ranging up to 200K. Now, like I said, you're allowed to have the multiple accounts, but they have a maximum capital limit of 400K, which I think is very reasonable. Like if you go back, let's say we look at Apex and you're allowed to have multiple accounts, and I didn't see a maximum capital there, but let's say you open up 5 of the 300K accounts, you're managing a bit over $1 million worth of capital. That's pretty big. But FTMO is saying, no, look, we're happy with managing up to 400K. I think that's enough risk, and the risk at 400K is huge, especially if you're going in full size. So yeah, I think that's an important thing to keep in mind, that maybe they're a little bit more realistic about what people can actually make, what their risk profiles are and all that kind of stuff. I don't know, but that's something to keep in mind. So max 400K, but if you do have multiple accounts with them, you can request to roll them into one, which is cool. So I think that makes a lot of sense. The idea of multiple accounts and having, I guess this potential compounding loss or compounding wins, either or, right? But I think that can be pretty high risk, and that's probably why people blow accounts with some of these other firms. Finally, we have My Funded Futures. Now, My Funded Futures also have a 1-step evaluation process, pretty straightforward there. Not going to talk about it too much. Their monthly fee for their evaluation step is $100K, $100 per month. And then they have an activation fee of $149 for their evaluation account once you pass. And then they have a 90, 10, and then your first 10K free with them as well. So that's something to keep in mind. I did notice with FTMO, they don't have, any sort of amount that you get free. You're always paying the 80, 20, and then scale up to the 90, 10. And then the rest of the firms either got this 10K or 25K first free. So that's a cool thing to see. And something to keep in mind as well. But like I said, even if you're making 20K and you're paying 20% on it, it's still huge money, man. Like, you're still making great money. I wouldn't be upset with it at all. So yes, it impacts you, but probably not as much as you think in the early stages of your trading career. And with My Funded Futures, you're allowed to have multiple accounts. And that's basically it. That's our wrap up of the top 5 trading firms that I've found online. Now, I think the only other key indicator here between the difference of these firms and something you need to pay attention to when you're looking to trade is what assets do they trade? Are they allowing you to trade commodities? Do they allow you to trade futures? Do they allow you to trade Bitcoin, for example? So do they allow you to trade those things? What are the fees like on each of those trades? It's something to keep in mind when you're going to trade longer term. But I think if you're a junior trader, you're just getting started, any of these will probably be fine, as long as they have a platform that you like to use. And that's why I like using TopStep. I like their platform, seems to work with me, but you can use pretty similar platforms to the rest of the prop firms anyway. So I can't see a huge difference there. As long as the firm itself is legitimate, you're going to be able to get payouts from them. I wouldn't stress about it too much. So make sure you do your due diligence in that regard. Have a look at the reviews online, making sure that you for that particular firm, you're not seeing any nefarious activity going on. Then it seems pretty straightforward then to go with them. Okay, so yeah, I think that's it really. I'll leave you to it. Thank you so much for tuning in today. Make sure you tune into my live streams. I'm trading 5 days a week, Monday to Friday at this stage, trading from about 12 p.m. Market time till right through to close. And I'm really enjoying those sessions. We're doing really well at the moment. So make sure you subscribe and follow along. So thank you again. Have a good one.